Welcome to the start of a new listen through of another artist's albums, except this time we're listening to all of them. Last time it was obviously Kendrick Lamar, but I didn't do all of his albums, I just did the big five. Tyler, I'm basically doing all of the actual, like, more official albums. I'm not counting Bastard, because I'm not listening to some 2009 like mixtape recorded on SoundCloud and mixed in some random laptop. His actual main 7 albums, I think, Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb, Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost, and Chromacopia are the ones I'll be listening to, starting with today, Goblin. It is a long album. I am not really familiar with this album. I listened to it like in the background once in preparation for Chromacopia. I was cooking most of the time and I wasn't really listening. The only song I really remember is She. I can't remember hearing that. I was like, oh yeah, that one kind of sounds really good, but I don't remember anything of it. I remember a lot of it felt kind of long. It is like 80 minutes, I think, this album. So, yeah, if I don't like this one very much, which I wouldn't be surprised if I don't, it's not going to be very fun. But it will be better than, say, Daft Punk or something, where it's not just going to be a bunch of random instrumentals and I just sit there not really being able to add anything. So, without any further introduction, the opening track, which is the title track, Goblin.
You wouldn't do that, Tyler. Kill yourself or anyone. You don't even have cause.
Evil Tyler, the creator, be like,
What you need is
Tyler the Destroyer.
talk to
It's very different to his newer stuff. It's very dark sounding. What is that, like, haunted house instrumental?
Tyler, you're the top notch
I said in my Daft Punk video that I liked the almost video game sound of some of the instrumentals. I do not like the video game sound of the instrumentals here. I feel like it's very much him trying to... He's trying to complain that people have misinterpreted his album or something. The one that I didn't listen to, because I don't want to. You know, it's starting to grow on me. I kind of like the almost rant feel of it. It's a unique choice for an opener to your first major album, but I think it kind of works. I don't love it, but I'm not disliking it. Kind of investing. It makes me want to look into the album more, but I don't really like it as a song. It's kind of... That one didn't age quite so well. They give me the orcs and I play this. What you doing? It's very different to his more popular stuff, but you can definitely see kind of the foundation being built with his style and the way he does things, which is good. It's alright for an opener. It's an interesting, more unique way of having it. It creates a dark atmosphere. I mean, the album's called Goblin. You know, you don't think of butterflies and rainbows and flowers and stuff like that. But I think it could lead to more interesting things throughout this album. However, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'd probably give that song like a 6 out of 10. It barely even counts as a song because there's not even really any, you know, it's just a guy, he's just talking, it's like a skit basically, but it goes for 6 minutes. Yeah, it's alright, I guess. The next song is probably the most popular one off the album, Yonkers. The intro kind of instrumental, the repetitiveness works really well. I know he hates the song, I'm pretty sure. The beat is just really good. You can see why it became his first really big song, and also you can also see why he hates it. It's another one that's kind of interesting more than it is actually good. It's very angry sounding, which I'm not a huge fan of the way he uses his kind of style. I think it can work with other people, but I don't know, he just does it kind of too much. It's like way too kind of on the nose. There's so many slurs in this album. Very much tell it came out in like the early 2010s. Like the first one, it is kind of more interesting than it actually is like an entertaining song. It is kind of cool seeing where his kind of popularity started, but it has not aged very well. I think the instrumental kind of works for a song that came out in 2011, although just doesn't hold up well with time. It's a song that I can see why it was initially popular, but it's just not that good anymore. I'd probably give it like a high 5, maybe a low 6 out of 10. Like it's not great. It also is too long, and it's just not that subtle or anything that I really want to find myself coming back to. Next song, Radicals. Yeah, this is gonna be a rough listen. That chorus is just really rough. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, this rules! This is so awesome! It's really badly, like, mixed. Like, everything sounds way too loud. The instrumental is really bad. There's the awful lyrics. It's not good. It just feels so like 15 years ago, and it's aged so like milk. But it's like, if this wasn't attached to who is one of the most like actually great rap artists now, like if this wasn't made by the guy that did Eagle and Flower Boy, no one would like this. But I feel like people have a bias because it's by someone who has since evolved into something good, but this sucks. It just goes on for way too long. Like, it sounds like we should be wrapping up now, but we're not even halfway through. And this album was nearly an hour and a half. A lot of this could be cut off, especially the not good stuff. It just sounds awful, like the sound of it, and it's just so like edgy for the sake of being edgy and cool. Like, it's just so early 2010s. You think he's radical, guys? I reckon. I wonder if he's radical. Totally turbulent, man. When is this gonna end? It just, I would, if this was like a shorter song, I'd just be like, yeah, it's a pretty bad and forgettable song, but like, it's not the worst thing ever. I probably would have given it a 3, but it's just dragging out. Like, this song does not need to be 7 minutes. It's like a 2. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like offensive, but like, it's not a, like, it's not torture on my ears or anything, but it's really bad. It's a 2 out of 10. That song absolutely sucks. I hated listening to it. I got almost no enjoyment out of it. But I wouldn't say it's the worst thing I've ever heard. That's what, like a 1 out of 10 is. Next song, She, which is one that's hopefully going to be actually good. It's better, but maybe because I just listened to one of the worst things like ever, that anything could sound good after that. Yeah, Frank, him on the chorus is really good because he's actually bringing a good sense of vocals to the song, and he's just making the entire song saying slurs and being really long and dragging it out. And Tyler's voice can work, but when it's just so repetitive and boring, it just doesn't work. It has to have flavor, it has to have the sauce that he usually has, which just isn't on here. I get such a relief when I hear the chorus because it's something that actually sounds decent. It's insane how good of a chorus this is and how just bad most of the rest of the song is. I mean, you know, the chorus is fantastic, but a lot of the rest of the song is just like a better version of the bad stuff on the rest of the album, but it's still not very good. I'd probably give it like a high 4, low 5 out of 10. Next song, Transylvania. Yay, back to the bad stuff. This one sucks as well. I've listened to 8 albums now, and I've enjoyed all of them for different reasons. But this is the first one that I think will be bad. I doubt the rest of the album is going to redeem itself. I think the whole thing is going to be way too bloated and long and just not sounding good or anything. It's going to be a fun time. This song should have played in the Nosferatu movie. That would have made that movie a 10 out of 10 easily. Because this song is so good. I guess this one's slightly more entertaining and doesn't just make me feel bored. Like, it's kind of comedic, you know, or the subject matter, but it just sounds really bad. The song's probably like a 4 out of 10. I kind of like the outro. Next song, Nightmare. And this one's just mostly kind of just sounds forgettable and not all that interesting, but at least it isn't extremely actively bad. I kind of like the way he's saying the lyrics in this one. the instrumental's not too bad, and it doesn't drag. It's one of the better ones off the album. I mean, it's fine. Not too bad, not too good either. Probably like a 5 out of 10. Maybe this album could be redeemed into just being kind of mediocre and forgettable, but it probably will continue to have quite a few songs on here that just are really bad. The next song, Tron Cat. I never realised that La 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 thing was this early in his career. What is this? This sounds like one of those funny bad songs that you'd make in like Tomodachi Life. What the hell are these lyrics? That beat is just awful. At least Yonkers wasn't good, but at least the beat was kind of like fire sometimes, but not really. Listen to this song around your family. Anyone that says this is aged like wine, I'm sorry for the god-awful wine you must have had to taste. How do you come up with lyrics this bad? What? Are these the worst lyrics in his career? Cause what is this? This isn't funny or like well thought out, it's just trying to sound as offensive as possible. It's like, I mean, I wasn't bored at least, maybe it's like a 3 out of 10, if I'm feeling a bit generous. But yeah. Next song, Her. We have She and Her in the same album. Genius title. Why is he like in an echo chamber? It just sounds like he's really bored. I can't feel any emotion, which usually you can. I hate to keep comparing it to like his good stuff, but like that's what's good and popular. Like there's a reason why he didn't keep making stuff that sounds like this. I mean, it's mostly just bad. I wouldn't say it's awful, but I'd just say, yeah, it was bad. 3 out of 10. Next song. Sandwitches. What is this beat? It sounds like the piano from Monsters vs. Aliens. That is like the... This is what vomit sounds like in music form. Yeah, this is one that was awful. Like, the last one was just kind of bad, but this one, like, sucks. She said, pass the weed. I don't like to pass the gas. Blowing bubbles, blowing zaza. I said, Google, Goo Gaga in a zoo. The song's called Sandwitches, but they don't mention sandwiches. You know what they do mention a lot in this song? Wolfgang. Should have called that. That's what they should have called the song. That instrumental is giving me a headache. It's cutting off. It doesn't play the full sound. It's a 2 out of 10. That song is a 2 out of 10. Next song, Fish, which is 6 minutes long. This one's really boring and bad. If this was just like 40 minutes, this wouldn't be that bad. But the album's twice that length, and every song is twice as long as it needs to be. Not even Frank can say this one. I love it when he gets the voice modifier. It makes his voice sound like this. It makes everything sound much better. We're just over halfway through the song. I wish it was over already. I wish it was over ages ago.
I just wanted her to suck my dick, and that's
A-M-O-N. You know what? This one drags out for so long. None of this is I like. I usually reserve 1 out of 10 for something really, really bad, but this is like painful. This one's a 1. This is a 1 out of 10. I've had this saved in my library ever since my Tyler sort of listened through a few months ago, and I am immediately deleting this out of my library because I am never listening to this ever again. You couldn't pay me to listen to this. You could probably pay me to listen to this. It's a 1 out of 10. That song is a 1 out of 10. The next song, Analog. This one is really long, I'm betting. Okay, it's only 2.5 minutes. Thank God. I have to listen to another 6-minute song. I mean, it's not the worst. Mama said special hours, Can you feel the light inside? Can you feel that fire? I actually don't. I hate this one, but it's kind of boring, but it's short at least. If it's going for too long, if it went on for ages, I probably wouldn't like it that. I'd probably like it even less. As it is, it's just kind of whatever. Probably like a 4 out of 10. Next song is Bitch Suck Dick. We're back to the bad stuff. If you've ever watched the movie Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping, you'll know what I mean when I say this sounds like a song from that movie, which isn't a compliment. This is the worst song on the album. There is nothing redeeming. It is annoying. The lyrics are god awful. The instrumental is headache inducing. And the fact that this came out by the same guy that did Igor is mind-boggling. This is the most like mid-2000s YouTube sounding, like this sounds like, what's that, Your Favorite Martian? It sounds like something they would make. Worst beat ever. Turn it off! Turn it off! One of the worst songs I've ever heard, ever. It's a 1 out of 10. It's close to a 0. That is, there is nothing in that song that's good. How do people like this album, man? I used to read Word and magazines. It's so slow and not good at all. There's 6 minutes left of this song, and then we have another 2 after this. Yay! Are we sure this wasn't made as like some way to torture or like terrorists into giving the government information? It was just accidentally released to the public or something? What the hell are these lyrics?
Down to fucking earth, huh? Down to fucking earth, huh? Fuck everybody. Here goes some extra girth, sir. You fucking critics are making my nerves hurt. Since I'm saying fuck everybody, I guess that I'm a fucking Clancy and David are taking
This
purse
is
and
so
shit.
boring.
City's mortgage.
Make it stop. Wow, how surprising. Another really long, really boring song that just isn't good on Goblin. Who could have predicted this? Window is a 2 out of 10. Next song, AU79, which is an instrumental which goes for 3.5 minutes. She ain't never met no one who talk like that. If you hang up on a fella, I'll call right back. Hey, roll my windows up, down and roll them windows up. Got a diaper and a sippy cup. Right ha ha ha, I'm stepping on the gas. That right ta ta ta. Geometry dash R beat. It's like it's trying to be boring. Do do do. It's like it sounds like something I'm playing in an elevator. Dun 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 dun. Now I'm listening to Tyler. Feel like I wanna die. Tyler the creator, I hardly know her. This song is boring. Feel like snoring. 2 out of 10. Boring as hell. Golden is the final song on this album, and it's 5 minutes. It's not 8 minutes.
Mom is getting jealous. I see my manager more than I miss the days when this was fun, but now it's
My name is Poor. I like to get sore. I want some more. This song isn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it still isn't good. I can't believe 3 out of 10 is not as bad as I think it would be. At least I can feel some emotion in this this song, which is not mind-numbingly boring. I love that the lyrics just randomly all capitalized here for some reason. I am the table. I mildly enjoy this one, which is more than I can say for most of the songs on this album, as you would know from watching the video that you're currently watching. It wasn't very good, but better than most of the songs on the album, that's for sure. It's like a 4 out of 10, and now the album as a whole is easily the worst album I've ever reacted to on this channel of the 8 albums I've reacted to. It will definitely be the worst Tyler album. I don't think any of them are getting worse than that. That was awful. I was thinking Cherry Bomb was going to be the worst one, but yeah, I think it's safe that one, it's like barely a 3 out of 10. there was no good songs on that. There were some that were like, maybe could have been a good song if they weren't on this awful of an album. But yeah, next week it's gonna be Wolf, which will actually be a good album hopefully. See you then. That album sucked.